Hey, that sounds good. How's my mic sound, you guys? Hey, Finn.
Hey, Kim.
Let me
Ms. Kim.
Right, Miss Kim, if you're nasty.
Yeah.
Let me drop the link. Hey, you all. Ooh, let's see all who's here. Woo! Vern's Junk Cloud is sharing me out. Hey, Vern. Tanisha Armstrong. Hey, honey. Woo! Okay. Let's see. Be the Difference Clothing. Hey, you all. Glad to have you here. Let me drop the link. Say it, Sam. Say it.
Drop the link. Drop the link. Drop the link. Drop that link, baby.
Oh, boy. Let me turn the music down. I was hoping that you all would hear some music at the beginning. I'm going to try to play it low in the background. And if it's not a problem, I'll keep it going. Can you still hear it, Finn? Is it okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want it to be too loud.
Yeah, it's like you can still hear it.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, hey. Hey, Joy.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've been on live.
Oh, well, big deal, girl. We're just glad to have you here. I'm ready to have some fun tonight. I'm through with my finals. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm like, hey, let's do this.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey.
Let's see. The local family just came in. All right. Here's somebody else. Let's add them to the stream. Hey, Vern.
Hello. The portal just made the building. The portal.
All right, let me get you
Hi,
guys.
everybody.
Hey. How are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you all could come. Hey, Portal, love and support. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you.
Hey, Miss Burns.
How you doing?
Hey, Portal.
I'm going to pull this up on YouTube just so I can see the people come in faster than on StreamYard.
Yeah, they were having some issues earlier today. A lot of people couldn't get on or they couldn't drop a link. And I read up and I seen something about they stopping the links in the community guide. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
It's always something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get around it.
It was glitchy, too. I was on Nick Nimmin early this morning and he was like glitching really, really bad.
Oh, shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I did go, I was at Geo's at her team build, and people couldn't do anything. So we had to end up going on Instagram to complete.
Mm-hmm. I think they're just having some updates.
Okay, now I see everybody.
What's going on?
Let's get you all in here, and we're going to get started in a moment. Let me just fix the screen the way I want it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Miss Kim, you a bit dark there.
Okay, I will light myself up. Flame on. Let me get the light. Now, when I cut this light on, it might start shining in my spectacles, but that's okay. Let's see.
How was your day?
Okay. Any better?
No.
Oh, shoot.
There might be a delay. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, hold on. Look, it said no. I like it like this. Okay, we'll see.
I see your pretty white teeth, though.
Oh, that means it's bright.
There you go.
Okay, you all. Let's see. Let's get going here. Okay, everybody else. This is the exact reason. Vern, I was telling you, I overbooked because people have different schedules and they come in, when they can, and so that's all right.
Well, you get to have 10 people on here.
Yeah. Let me go get you started. Okay, so now you guys, I just want to have more of it. Oh man.
Your light is not liking you today.
I know. It's like lighting. Get over here.
Alexa, turn on the lights.
Yeah, hold on, you guys. About to get started and then it goes out. I think, you know what? I actually went to go and see Queen Latifah's show when it was out.
Oh, nice.
And they were having trouble with her lighting too. I remember that. It's like it's no.
So you trying to say you think you Queen Latifah? That's what you saying?
No. I think I'm Miss Kim. I think I'm Miss Kim.
I know. I'm saying you think you're on that level. You think?
Well, I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I did pay someone to come do this. No. Oh man, look, if only. And she had her makeup artist come out, and the hairdresser, and you know how you guys have a man with a tool belt. That lady had
the makeup guy. That's the makeup guy.
Okay. So let's get this going, and I'll make sure this works. Come on, man. Get my light. I'll fix it. All right. We'll see.
Hey, Zero.
Now, Cook, you guys don't tell me this is too bright now, because I tried to take it the opposite way. Let's see what that does.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Don't let me have to give you a pink slip now. Okay. Okay. So now, I thought we could have some fun tonight. Basically, it doesn't have to be a philosophical conversation, but just have some fun and shoot the breeze. So, what makes a good man? Do you guys want to just start with that, or I got some questions that I can ask you to kind of help you feel it out?
Yeah, your platform. You tell us.
Okay. So now, give me some qualities. Anybody can step in. Let me know if the music is too loud, okay? And what are some of the qualities that you want? I just heard somebody come in. That you want in the back for a good man. Anybody?
Okay, well, for me,
go first? Mm-hmm.
For me, he has to have a heart. He has to be sensitive yet strong. Okay, there's two different things.
That's a hard one.
Sensitive but strong. He has to be protective but not overbearing. Okay? And he has to be confident, because if he's not confident, he's not going to have his woman to be confident. Not cocky, but confident. Those are some of the qualities.
Okay, you got a pretty tough list there. Okay. Have you ever found a gentleman that carried all of those at one time?
Yes. 2.
Okay.
I've been married twice. Yes. My first husband, unfortunately, I was widowed, and then my second husband, because I didn't think I was going to find a second husband. I was like, nobody going to want me after all that, but hey, he's still here.
Okay. All right. I heard that. That's what's up. Okay. And he was able to find all of that. Okay. So yeah. That's good. And did you find that you were actually looking for that type, or did he just did God bring him? He just showed up in your life, or
My second one, he just showed up. But the first one, I met him through my sister, God rest her soul. But I wasn't interested in him at all.
Okay,
I wasn't even thinking about dating.
That's the way it works sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I'll tell you all a little bit about my story later. Okay. So who's next? Who else wants to chime in on what makes a good man, or what are some of the qualities that you look for in a good man?
I mean, I don't know how to be nothing but deep. I'm sorry. But
that's okay. Do your thing, girl.
I believe a good man is not a singular thing. He's made up of a good father, a good mother, siblings, grandfather, his children. I believe, if he already has the characteristics inside of him to want to be a good man, and he has the desire to be a good man, then he would see his children and want to do better and do more for them, and to be like, not a superhero, but a good example. And hopefully,
hey, Catherine, go ahead, Joy.
And hopefully, his children.
I hear feedback.
One moment. Hey, Catherine, I think you got a little technical difficulties going on.
Can you mute her mic?
I'm just going to mute you, and then when you think it's okay, just let us know in the chat. Okay, go ahead, Joy. I'm sorry about that.
That's all.
Okay. Well, it's nothing wrong with you say get a little on the deep side. Yeah, I know, because the thing about it is that what I've noticed is that when I look for men with those characteristics, and just in the way that they carry themselves, I notice that sometimes you can find one with more of what your preference is, and sometimes you have to prioritize some of the others. Now, it sounds like in Vern's case, she didn't have to prioritize. It just all came in one package, which was awesome. And that tells me that God had that person for her. Many times, if you just go out looking for yourself, then you'll find the wrong person for you. So that's interesting how, you guys are determined. I hear these same kind of things that many women want in a man, and sometimes they don't, they might just take what they can get instead of waiting for what they really want, and a lot of times that can turn out in a bad way. Okay, so everybody, you guys can talk. It's not just question and answer. If you guys want to comment on something that somebody said, just go right ahead. Okay. Who's next? Who wants to discuss what qualities that they found in a good man, or that they would like in a good man? Okay, I'll tell you about mine. So now, I have had the opportunity to be able to sit back. I never really looked for particular characteristics, but when I saw it, then that's what attracted me to that person. So again, I always wanted the person to treat me right. Oh yeah, it's still bad. Oh, darn it. Wonder what's causing that. You know what? You might want to go out and come back in, Catherine, and see if we can get it together. Okay, so where was I? So I was, I always wanted a man that treated me, that was the top of my list, one that treated me with respect, because I demanded respect. So they had to treat me with respect. I also, if I got closer to them, I needed to make sure that they treated their mother with respect.
Can I say something?
Do you all hear that?
I think a woman should never settle.
Oh, that's Catherine. Okay, go ahead, Catherine.
She said she don't think a woman should ever settle.
I agree, because you find yourself in a bad position if you do. Are you still there, Catherine?
Sometimes women settle because, and I hate to say it, but even for men though, they're desperate. And when you're desperate and you're looking for love, that's when you may run into an issue.
Yeah.
So you may say, "Oh, he don't have a job today, but he hasn't had a job for 6 years. That don't mean he's gonna get one tomorrow." Like you have to be like, "Okay, I'm not going to accept certain things," and you have to put that out front and let people know, or your mate, "Hey, this is what I will not accept." Like, what are you bringing to the table? I can't be bringing, all of this, and I'm bringing the big house and the car and the money, and you bringing McDonald's. That's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to compare, you have to be or have potential to bring more to the table.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And if you don't have it at that point, absolutely, the potential to do it. Mm-hmm. I agree with that 100%. Okay. And as far as what Catherine was saying about the settling, I think that's a bad idea too. And you may settle like you were saying, because of desperation. But if you're in a desperation mode, it's probably not a good idea for you to be with somebody at that time anyway, because you bring nothing to the table.
Joy might be too young for this, but old school, like our parents would say, half a man is better than no man. Well, no, that's not true. That is not true. I don't want you if you only half, because if you only half, we're the other half.
So, yeah. That's true. That's true. So now, like I was getting ready to say, I wanted to make sure that the man treated his mother right, or the women in his life right. Because if I saw them treat her right, that gave me an indication. The biggest part, though, for me that I've learned throughout the years is I wanted to make sure that they had a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. I felt like if you have a relationship with God and I see what you're doing as far as abiding in his word, that's important to me, then it was going to be difficult for you to treat me without respect. And so I found that to be true. There's always exceptions to any case, but that was important for me. I wanted to make sure that I needed somebody to help keep me laughing, and that's what my husband does. Even when I don't want to laugh, he keeps me laughing. So that made me feel good, about that. Now, if we're going to talk about the qualities of a good man, let's talk about some of the deal breakers. Okay, that's the opposite side of the spectrum. Okay. Can we talk about some deal breakers,
Go ahead, Joy. And I'm sorry, I can't see the names. The names are not up there, but
I'll put them up there for you. I'll put them up there for you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joy.
I was waiting. I think a deal breaker for me is definitely rudeness. If you can't open the door for me, like, come on now. Like, to me, you need to go the extra mile. Like, I think going the extra mile is important. And it also shows strength as well. In my opinion, it shows strength because it's like, all right, well, I want my woman to be secure. So therefore, I'm going to do everything to protect her and to make her feel like a queen. So
yeah.
Definitely open that door for me. Throw your jacket on my shoulders if it's cold.
I was gonna say throw it on the ground. Like, are they still doing that,
Joe? Yeah, right. And also for me, because I'm about building, I want a man that's gonna show me how to invest and how to invest in many things, not just in a relationship, but in life skills. So like if he were to like disappear, or if he were to pass away, or if we were to break up, at least I would have been left with some qualities that I did not have before. Oh wait, that's what I want. What I don't want, I'm sorry. What I don't want is, just all that nastiness. Like, I don't need no guy that's gonna disrespect me. No cursing, please. No cursing. Sorry, girl. Sorry, Webb. I was all on a whole nother thing. I was in the twilight zone.
No, we're just talking.
No, but that's what I don't want. I don't want anybody that curses at me. Please don't do that, because my family doesn't curse. My own father doesn't curse at me. So you think I'm going to accept anyone else cursing at me? Absolutely not. So that's big no. And you have to have drive. If there's no drive, then there's no
Exactly.
relationship. Maybe we can be friends, but then we're on a different page. So definitely, I feel like a man is a leader by nature, and I don't want to take that away from him. I need him to help me. That's just my opinion.
Oh no, that's what we want to hear. Is your opinion? That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand that. Deal breakers. What I had seen in my family, and it was something that I never wanted to be put in the position of. A deal breaker for me would be um, adultery. Now, okay, I'll say it like this. I've never known a husband of mine to have been, involved in fornication or adultery. And I'm not stupid enough to think that it doesn't happen and it can't happen, you know. But I do know that my maternal grandmother, had a very difficult time in her relationship with my grandfather because he was a professional baseball player. He was in the Negro Leagues, and women was just throwing the panties at him, and he couldn't deal with it. You know, it's like my mom said she remembered she was walking from Sunday church with her sister and brother, and her mom and dad were behind, and she turned around and a woman had come across the street and tried to give him her number. This was just the kind of things that she had to deal with. And she said, my mom said, I know you see me, heifer. It's like, but that's what they had to deal with. And I always said, I don't want a professional athlete. I don't want anybody like that, anybody with any pain, because I saw that. And so it made me push from ever, trying to get to know anyone like that. Now, of course, there are some marriages that they do rather well, and I'm happy for them. And we only know what we see or what they allow us to see. But I always said I could not. That would be a deal breaker for me. The constant seeing other women, and things like that. I just no. And
Can I say something on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Who is that, Catherine?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
I have
ahead.
met a few women that don't mind if their man cheat, as
Mm.
long as he come home to them.
With
Hush.
what?
Mm.
With some few extra friends?
No,
Or
see, they
something
look at it
else.
like this: as long as they don't see it, as long as they don't see it, it don't bother them.
Exactly. And STDs can be invisible until you catch it. So,
Hello?
yeah, no.
But let me tell you something. Believe this or not, these women, they're older women.
Mm.
You understand?
Mhm.
And I be talking to them. I said, honey, I couldn't. So how I speak, they just walk away from me. They said, because I be going off about stuff like that. I'm like, what?
I know, and
No,
everybody has their own breaking point, and I feel
exactly.
sorry for a woman that is in that situation.
I'm not sharing nothing.
No.
That goes back
Exactly.
to being desperate, and
Mhm.
it's no offense to anyone, please, but to like some of the women in the church, they allow certain things, and I'm like, he cheating, he's with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the congregation. Why are you still with him? It can't be because
Security.
of status, and it can't be because of money, because you can get your own money,
It's
and
security.
Well, I got to say
you
something
as a
on that
woman
one
have
now.
to
Miss
stand
Fuller.
up and
Mm-mm,
say what you will
mm-mm,
allow and what you
mm-mm,
won't allow.
mm-mm. Let me tell you something.
Miss
Both of
Fuller.
them going to the wrong church. I'm sorry. Because ain't no pastor, a real pastor, not having that up in their church. I'm so sorry. I don't know what
Yeah,
church they go to.
yeah,
Hello.
that's true. That's true. They shouldn't, and all kind of stuff goes on. That was one of the reasons why my mother decided that she didn't want to be involved with the church any longer, because she went to a Catholic church, and one of the brothers in the church, which is like a deacon, tried to hit on her. So she said, no, not the place.
Mm-mm.
Then she went to a Baptist church, and the pastor hemmed her up in the back, and she
Oh,
was like, No.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm.
They should have ran. They should have ran right out that church. I would have ran. I like, too many devils up in there. I'm sorry, I've been gone.
Wow.
So I told her, I said, Mom, your mistake was of course, you don't want to be under that person any longer, but she ran away from her relationship with God. And I said, that's because you put your focus on the man and not God. That was the mistake. But
Right
she
now.
got it back before she passed, y'all. I thank God for that, because that's terrible. But yeah, I don't want to be bothered with that.
Yeah, that goes back to what you will allow and what you won't allow. Because if you're in quote unquote in the church, and you say if you and your husband separate and he living somewhere else with another woman, and then you like, oh, my marriage is going to get back together. God's going to bring us. Okay, yes, God may indeed bring you back, but that doesn't mean you have to sit up there and accept his garbage treatment of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I saw that.
You know what?
My grandmother. Oh, go ahead, Catherine. You can go ahead.
They got a lot of women. Let me tell you something. I have seen a lot of women that will wait. They will wait. They don't care how long it takes. He doing whatever he doing, and they will wait on that one man.
Okay, question. While they're waiting on that one man, are they living their life, or are they just waiting for him?
They waiting for him.
They fasting and praying, Webb. They fasting.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying I'm not putting them in church business. I'm just saying in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Fasting and praying.
I'm sorry, the church I go to, there are a bunch of strong women in the church I go to, and they not having that. And the brothers are, and so are the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine,
So,
I don't know if you heard Web Tabby's question. She said, "What is a deal breaker for you?"
A deal breaker with a man?
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Full Roller. Hi.
Cheat. Period. If you cheat on me, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you, let me say two things. You cheat and you lie. You got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand no cheating man, no lying man.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cheat, you lie. When you lie, you cheat. Oh, we all mixed together. It's all together.
That is. Any other deal breakers, you guys? Like some people.
Bad breath. No, I'm just joking. Halitosis.
Bad breath. I agree with that. That goes from the beginning. So if I met him, his breath stink, I know I'm not marrying him. Goodbye.
Some people, if you leave your clothes on the floor, that's a deal breaker. Some people.
But if you're married, that's something you're gonna have to just accept and move on, because some things are just really simple. But like she said, cheating and not even so much lying. It depends on what the lie is. Like if you lied and told me you had 2 kids and you had 10, now we gotta talk, because I don't think I like.
I'm sorry, you said you had 2 kids and then there's 3. You still a liar.
Yeah, I think there's no.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I told my husband. I said, if you ever feel the need to want to stray, I said, be man enough to come to me and say this, and I will let you go. Now that don't mean I'm gonna wait on you, but I do not want to be the last person to know, because that's when I'm gonna mess you up.
But that means that you're gonna have to turn it up. That's all that means. You're gonna have to turn it up. Midnight special that night, girl. Switch it up. Do the switch all the way up. Be like, well, you still want to go somewhere? You still want to
we in the rodeo, go girl.
You like, giddy up.
I just, and he didn't have any reason to want to stray. But some men, when they get in that, you don't know yet. Some of you, I don't know yet, that midlife crisis, and it's interesting because I've seen a mentor of mine. He, I could see it, you all. It was just so, obvious. But we had a secretary, and she had gotten divorced, and she was much younger. And I could see that our offices was around where she was, and she started wearing short skirts to work. Okay. When she bend down to go in the file cabinet, she don't bend like a young lady, and she bending in his direction. And I questioned her. I said, Diana, I said, what's the problem? Your mother never taught you how to bend down like a lady and go in the file cabinet? I knew what she was doing. I could see it. And then what was worse, he was falling for it. So, I kept quiet. One day I needed to leave my car to get it repaired, and I asked his wife, who worked at another building, would she take me home? Do you know she confronted me? And she asked me, because she knew something. She said, is anything going on between my husband and the secretary? I was like,
Long as she ain't say you.
yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
And I said, I don't know of anything that's going on. I said, but I will tell you this. That secretary is making a play for your husband.
Okay. At least you were honest.
Yeah.
There's no need to lie. There's no need to lie. There's no need to lie.
No.
Shawana said something was wrong with her mic. I don't know if she can come back up. And I didn't hear the indoor gardener. Is she?
I am here. I had to mute out due to family. You know, when kids want popcorn or whatever, I had to mute myself out. So I'm here. I'm taking it in.
Okay,
I have opinions, but I'll wait.
I know. Let's jump in. Hey, Robert, how you doing? No, you're not going to come up today. This is only for the ladies, so you have to stay in the chat, Robert.
We're talking about you. Well, I'll let the indoor-outdoor say something, and then I'll say something after her. Unless Shawana comes back in. Oh, Miss Roller too. I keep looking at her picture.
Oh, there you go.
I'm still here.
Can
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Deal breakers.
We got the deal breakers. We already talked about the what qualities make a good man for you, and I think that was for the most part it.
Okay. Well, let's see. What makes a good man for me? I think that's kind of relative. But for me, he would have to be definitely self-aware. Think for himself. Not follow the crowd. Not follow the boys. Can think for himself. Can be, logical. Definitely has to be willing to learn. Not, because I'm the man, I know it all. Because you don't.
Right.
Just because you got that different package does not equate to, upstairs. And basically not want to follow the crowd. Now, I am not, I'm not Christian. I am not traditional. So that's a huge, a huge thing for me. They've got to be self-aware, not follow the crowd, and can think and be willing to learn.
Right.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because I don't feel like leadership is. I don't feel like leadership is assigned, just because they have that package.
Right.
So and to be
we definitely know that. I know some women.
Yeah. So like I say that's probably the biggest thing for me. Deal breakers is the opposite of everything I just said.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let me add something.
Oh, that's a good one, Robert.
Just with the when I say what's a deal breaker for me, I in no way mean to tell other people what they should and should not accept. For example, when I'll just throw out Hillary Clinton, when she decided that she wasn't going to separate and divorce from her husband because of infidelity. A lot of people got angry at her. And I was just wondering, why are you angry at her? That's her business.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, she's deciding what she wants to do. And for God knows what reasons she made that decision. I have some ideas of my own, but that's her business. I remember the governor at the time, I think it was North Carolina, he got caught in a scandal where he said that a mistress, I'll just say a whore, I'll just say a hoe, that he was dealing with was his soulmate. Now,
Yeah.
What?
And
Okay.
that dude, he ended up having to pay though
I
a
know he
lot of
did.
money.
I know he did
Yeah,
because
he
that
had to
embarrassed
pay.
his wife. You know, and I
Hmm
would have said, "Oh, you got a soulmate, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Now
do it."
that's a deal breaker for me too. The minute you step out, you might as well stay the heck on out. Because you ain't coming back. Ain't no,
Right on.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was weak. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Especially
what
these
Robert
days and
said.
times. Nobody ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that was
Well,
good,
a deal,
Robert. Got to be better listeners. You right about that.
right?
Yeah.
A deal breaker for me is first, yes, he has to believe in God. And I know everybody doesn't believe in God like that, but he has to believe in something that's higher and stronger than him. He has to have a determination and he has to have a dream. If he I don't care how old you are, you have to still dream of something. And if a man to me, if a man doesn't have a dream, he's not progressing. That's in my opinion. He's not progressing. He has to be intelligent. He doesn't have to be a rocket scientist, but he has to have some damn common sense. Like, come on now. You gotta
Yeah,
have
I'm
something
with
on
you,
the
Vern.
cat, you know? And the main thing for me is he cannot talk down to me, put me down. I don't care if I gain 100 pounds. You better not call me, oh, you're getting fat. And you ain't skinny either. And
Right,
and
right.
and hitting. I'm sorry. I'm old school in a lot of ways. Like I don't care if he opens the door and I can open my own damn door. For me, I don't need that. But if you swing, just be prepared for either your mother to have a black dress or or you won't have no limbs. So you pick it. You either no limbs or your mama gonna have a black dress. That I'm not putting up with. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
can't.
for
I'm with
me,
you there, Vern.
I agree.
I'm in agreement with you on that. That you step out once, you swing once. You just keep going on out the door. If you was headed out the door, just keep on. And make
Yeah,
sure you got whatever you want to take with you. You might be carrying it with
yeah, yeah. And you know what? And so the same thing. That was one of the reasons that my own father and mother couldn't make it because he got too angry one day. Now she had already been putting up with some things with him, and she was on the verge of walking out of the door. And then when it got physical, she said, "That's it." But let me add this: he they could laugh about it later, but he said, "I'd be a dead man if your mother had got to that nightstand before I got out the house."
Oh wow.
And I mean it because she wasn't going to allow anybody to hit her and just, oh no, no. So he knew that she kept her firearm in that nightstand. And so he took off. And I asked him, I had an honest conversation with him as an adult why he felt like he did that. Because he knew, he said, your mother was the best thing that had ever happened to me. And I effed it up basically. And he tried to get her back a couple of times, but she wasn't having it. You know what? Let me just say this real quick. See if I can remember where I left off. Do you guys feel that? I feel that women, when they love strong. But once it's over, it's over.
Yeah,
you.
I agree.
That's definitely me. Once I say I'm done, I'm done.
I agree.
There
Mm-hmm.
is no turning back. I see, if I see you out on the street, I still be cordial to you. But don't take that, niceness and cordiality, if that's such a word,
Mm-hmm.
as oh, maybe I can work my way back in.
Can I
Mm-mm.
say something?
To the no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Come on, Catherine.
Let me tell you this story. This is something that I've been checking out. And anyway, let me go on.
She went like this.
Now I have women. Women do love hard, and they love a little harder than men. Now I've seen a few marriages where they lasted like for 20, 15. 30 years, right? And so the female passes on, right? Less than 6 months, that man remarried. I see the same thing like with women. That woman don't marry no more.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's kind of odd to me because women when they lose their spouse that they've been in love with so many years, they do not get married no more. They say that's it for me. I'm done. But a man, he'll get married in 6 weeks if it's there. I don't know.
You're right, Kath.
I've noticed
It's
that.
crazy to me.
I've noticed that. You're
You
right.
notice that too?
Mm-hmm.
Catherine, I have to add something to that. Now I've noticed that. However, I've had older women that I have had the pleasure of being around, and somehow I don't know how we got on that subject, but the subject of the remarriage thing came up, and all of these women were much older than me, so probably say in their
Hmm.
70s, um, and they were like the real reason. That's what they said. This is coming straight out their mouth. The real reason that they really didn't want to get married because they just did not want to put up with the shenanigans of, you know, the men. They had had enough of that, and they were enjoying their freedom.
Hmm.
So they didn't want to go back into another marriage,
Yes.
which I
Uh-huh.
found
Wait a minute. The men or the
it
women?
was odd because it
The
was
woman.
more than one of these older women that said that
Okay.
on different occasions. It wasn't like we
Okay.
were in a conversation like, a group of us are here right now. This was different occasions.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that. I had a conversation with my mother about that, and I said, you're a good-looking woman, and you deserve to have some happiness outside of just what you have within yourself. I said, why don't you go out? And she was like, honey, I'm through with that. She said, I had 2 times.
Hmm.
She said, I'm through. She said, don't worry about me. I enjoyed myself. Same thing with my aunt. My aunt went around twice, and my
Okay.
grandma
This
said,
comment I'm gonna make. Okay, I don't want no man to feel any kind of way, but
why not?
my theory is a man needs somebody to take care of them. That's my theory.
Yes.
I think they want somebody to take care of them. They don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, their
Exactly.
mama
Exactly.
lives. Well, let me just say this, Catherine. Well, I've been married twice, and my second marriage, it did take me 8 years to say yes, yes, let's do. I just like you said, I wasn't into it. But now, if God forbid something was to happen, I wouldn't get remarried. I don't even think I would want to be interested in dating because right now in 2020, the way the world is, there's a lot of older men that like to be with young women. And these young women are out here with any and everybody. So that's an issue for me. That's an issue for me.
Hmm.
Trust is an issue for me because we're starting off fresh and new. And the way things are now, people aren't like it was when we were growing up. It's like, look, this is how it is. You my old man, I'm your old woman. It's me and you. You're not gonna go out here and cheat. Like, it's a trust thing. Today it's not about that. People just want to lay up with everybody. It's more than an intimate
Hmm.
sexual thing when you're a woman of a particular age. It's not all about that anymore. It's more of a mental, like Joy said, a building and trying to get to that next level.
Companionship.
And if today these you got the older women want to be with the young men, you got the older men want to be with the young women. I want somebody that's going to be age appropriate, and I want someone that wants
I
to be
agree.
in a real committed relationship, not out here fiddle faddling around. I wouldn't have the patience to do it again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
No
Vern,
offense to cougars, more power to you, but I don't like young men.
Exactly.
Sorry.
you're like, boy,
Sorry.
What's
Sorry.
the guy who used to play on Hanging with Mr. Cooper? Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He
Hmm.
I heard him doing some stand up, and he said that he prefers mature women over the young women because if you go to a young woman's house, he said they have blow up furniture.
Hmm.
And he said that they don't know how to treat you. Whether a mature woman, she'll have dinner for you, and then the next morning, ham and biscuits and corned beef hash and a rack of lamb and all of that. But yeah, I do notice when you have someone that's younger than you are, I don't know what is really there but the sex. I mean, they can't talk.
And tell me,
Let me let me
how
say
that
this.
old women gonna
They
keep up
can't
with
do
that?
that.
I'm
What is
not gonna be with
that?
no man that's gonna be sitting on no
Huh.
couch. I don't care if he have a job and gonna be playing no video games. That is a big deal breaker for me. Because if you don't have more attention span than a damn video game, I don't care how much a PS5 costs. You're not gonna be sitting on no couch playing no damn video games for hours. That nah.
So one man you wouldn't have gone with. I saw a video where a lady got mad at a man and she threw the
Yes,
PS5
yes,
down
Yeah.
the
on that
tracks and
side.
he jumped down there and got it.
I seen
On
that.
that
Burn.
I seen that.
Burn. At least
That was
be focused.
crazy.
At least focus, Burn.
Now I have something to ask y'all, as far as
Miss
um
Florida, one moment. Shawana, can you get back up? Do you need the link or are you having technical difficulties? Okay, go ahead, Miss Florella.
what I was going to bring up is we seem to, as far as um we kind of hold these old relationships, the back in the day, up to these to this standard, when I'm just gonna be real. There was a whole lot of creeping going on
That's
back
right.
then too. It didn't matter. The women, like, just like the
Creep,
one
creep,
you
creep.
said,
Mm-hmm.
the mature. He wants the mature woman because she'll have all the food ready. Yes, our grandmama's aunts and all that did all that, and these men still went out and cheated on. Got families. You wonder why you seeing people you don't know, but they look like you or look like somebody in your family. Probably think
Yeah.
they are in your family.
It's true. That's why I feel like a good man is a sum of all the good people in his life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
you have to be a certain kind of character to not have the desire, even if it came in your heart to want to
Yeah,
go out on your spouse, your girlfriend, and cheat, but you still don't. Out of respect.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because let's take the other side of that coin. I have
Let,
had
let me
men
just say something before you
approach me.
start that. You're
Go
right,
ahead,
Miss
Vern.
Glorilla. You're right. That's why I'm here, because of somebody else went out and had a whole nother family. That's how I got here. And you're right. Back in the day, I'm not saying that they were better. It's the point of the kind of relationship is what I was referring to.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understood what you were saying.
Hmm.
But on that same token, because I question this. I observed this kind of stuff as a child.
Hmm.
Our grandmothers, aunts, aunties,
Hmm.
moms put up with a lot of stuff just to stay in a marriage or to say, well, I got a man. And we seem to hold that stuff up to a standard, yeah, because they might have been married 50 years, but hell, he cheated 49 of them.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
Hush,
you're
not no
right.
hush, y'all.
ideal.
Mm-hmm.
that's
That's
sad.
no
And
ideal.
everybody
Maybe it's
knew
also
about it.
because back then,
That's sad.
maybe also back then it was because of the support. Because a lot of women wasn't like working like that. You
Yeah.
understand? And
Yeah,
so
I
he was
get
the
that.
bread
I
and butter.
understand that. But what I'm saying is, there still seems to be this idealism of situations that it wasn't right. Because if the shoe would have been on the other foot,
He
he'd
would
have
have
put
left.
her out. The,
He
the,
would have left.
the
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm kind of
Of course.
bringing up.
And that's why now they got, when women power came out, when they took them bras off, so they said later for that, right?
Mhm.
Women start working, start doing their things, taking care of their own families.
Yeah.
A lot of men, who knows? Maybe that's when a lot of abuse start coming in too. Men back then, men used to get a little jealous when a woman used to go out there and do her own little thing.
Exactly. And a
You
lot of that
understand?
is
There's a lot
insecurity.
going on back then.
Now I have an uncle
Please,
who I called
absolutely.
him Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, because women, especially African American women, it was much easier for them to get a job than it was for African American men. And he would be jealous when she could bring home a paycheck, and he would go out and start drinking if he got fired or something, and then it would start a big fight. You
Yep.
know,
Good times. Remember that show?
That's that
Grew up on it.
demasculation. That's that
Yep. He
demasculation.
didn't want his wife to work.
It kind of like takes away from the lion, and the lion taking care of his cubs and his lioness.
right.
So
The
it,
way
it doesn't
society
make it right.
was, it the way society was, that was part of the cause of it, but he didn't have to take it that way. And and of course,
He
he
didn't.
used therapy, but
He didn't. But and also you have your woman making money, and then you have another man of the opposite race making money, saying, "Ha ha ha! Your woman's making money. What kind of man are you?" So like, it doesn't make any situation right. But I can see how it can probably mentally mess with people. But again, if people believe, then it's okay to talk about your issues, and it's okay to feel like you need help.
But that's what goes back to what I was saying of somebody, for me, thinking for yourself. Because even these relationship ideals, really, if you deconstruct them, they're not necessarily there for anybody's good, the man or the woman.
Yeah.
And it causes people to end up getting with people that they shouldn't have gotten with because they didn't know themselves. If somebody making more than you gets you all upset, where you feel like you got to beat on them, you got to be secure within yourself. And that's what I'm saying. The man got to be secure within himself. If you're secure within yourself, you don't give a crap about what nobody else doing, what nobody else got, or anything. And you can't build anything when you're not secure within yourself, because then you make all kinds of decisions.
Miss
And
Corolla, your sound is going in and out a little bit, just to let you know.
okay, and spend all kind of just get into all kind of stuff because you're not secure within yourself. And that's really by design.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, it's by design. Because when you got a couple and both are secure within themselves,
Power moves.
woo, that's it's not that's at that point it's not 1 + 1 is 2. That's 1 + 1 equal to the nth power.
Yeah, that's power moves right there.
So
And
to add on that too, Miss Full Roller, like you said, the conditioning, maybe we've all been raised to know, maybe we have all in some way been raised that you can't really do it by yourself, and that you need someone else to help complete you. Not necessarily trying to damage you to believing that's the only way, but what's the thing in school? You grow up, you have a career, have a family, have a husband or a wife. Like if you're a man, you have a wife. If you're a woman, you have a husband. And that's the American dream.
Yeah. But that's not everybody. That's a box that they put everybody in, and you have to be self-aware enough to know that that's not my box.
Right. But unfortunately, if you condition a child to believe that, it's hard for them to come out of that conditioning.
Oh, you're right. Hell, it's taking me too. I'll be 55 in a few months.
But that's the thing. Like everybody,
it's taking just about all that time to get where I am.
What happens when you're growing up, you're modeling yourself after your parents and your experience that you have with your parents, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to go down that same road
Right.
Yeah.
because your parents were like that, you know. And so you have to kind of guide yourself through your path. And you have some likes and dislikes about, and you have your positive and negatives about that person. And you have to make some choices. And it happens early on when you start to date. And then you start to, like with my life, I was like overprotective. So I didn't get a chance to experience a lot of things until I became 18. So I had to like find my way down that road and make choices and, dealing with men. So I made some really good choices because I knew when I was in a relationship and then I discovered that the man was cheating on me, I moved back home. I packed my stuff up and I'm gone,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know. But yeah, this is part of what we do in life. And, you make bad choices, good choices, you know. That's part of life.
Yeah, and I think it's important if they would tell you the truth. A lot of times you can see it from their actions is to ask plenty of questions before you start to getting more involved with a man, because now my dad just straight out told me when we had a discussion that he couldn't understand at the age he was then that women could not understand why it wasn't natural to be with just one woman. And I said, yeah, we wouldn't have worked, you
Mm-mm.
know. But that's just
Because
the way he
I
was.
am more than enough that you don't need anyone else. I should be able to supply you with all your needs
Mhm.
that you don't have to go out there looking for someone else. Not that it makes a difference, but if you and I are intimate and I'm doing everything you need and then you go out there with Susie and she do the same thing, well how does that make her better than me? We both doing the same thing. Like
It's
what are you getting? And that's why I think when women cheat, because women do cheat, when women cheat, I think it's more of an emotional. It's not the sex. It's they're missing something from
yes.
their man. But for men, they're so visual. They see a big booty and some big boobs, and they ready to. You know what I'm saying? I'm being
Yeah,
honest. That's
it's
how
true.
some, not all, some men are. Like we were talking about the men in the church. I was in a church one day and I was visiting. I wasn't even at this. I was visiting and I seen a girl at the front and she was singing. And it was like three or four other people. But something just kept in my head, like, wait a minute, why is she up here with a white shirt, no bra, no bra,
Mm-mm.
bouncing, jumping. Now the old school church I went to would have been covered her up and walked her out.
Threw a blanket over her. Yeah.
And and in my opinion, she knew exactly what she was doing.
Hmm.
And I didn't like that as a woman. And I'm like, how's nobody not saying nothing to her? And guess what? I never went back to that church again because I said, this probably isn't the first time that happened.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Let me add to that too. One thing that I've been trying to discuss with women is that a lot of this can be prevented if you
Mm-hmm.
just stay in your lane. Because I've seen it where women are interested in married men or men that are in relationship because they don't have to have the responsibility of that man. They can see him when
Mm-hmm.
and whenever they want to. And some are so delusional that I know I had a girlfriend whose husband, he had cheated on her that she knew of for 4 times. And the fourth time she just said,
That's too
I'm done
many.
because you're not going to stop. But the woman that was involved had actually come to her home when her mother died, and she hugged her and acted like she was a friend of hers. She was the
Mm-mm.
one. She was the one that found out. And I saw what she wrote on Facebook because when my girlfriend kicked him out of the house, he went to her home,
Of course
like
you
a big
did.
dog, scurrying away.
Mm-hmm.
And she put on Facebook, God sure is blessing. God has gave me a good man. I wrote on there, how God gonna give you a married man?
Let me ask you a question. So, what do you think about this? Okay, same situation. The man cheated with a single woman, and the single woman cheated with a married man, right? The married man finally gets caught, gets kicked out, divorced, and all that other stuff. Do you think that the relationship between the woman that he cheated with and the divorced man would last?
You know what? That's
No.
a hard one. But I'll tell you this:
Mm-mm.
there's always an exception to the rule. But I always look at it as if, why do you think he's not going to treat you the same way that he treated, his own
That's
wife?
right.
What
That's
makes you
right.
think you can
How
keep
you
him?
got him is how you
Yeah,
lose him.
exactly.
I believe
That's
that.
how I look at that.
I believe it because if I'm
Yeah,
your sister,
karma.
if I'm your sister and me and Joy are friends, and I know, even if I'm your neighbor, but I know that that's your man, and I'm sleeping with him, not only is he a low down dirty something another because he's committed to you, but the person that is the neighbor knows. So you got to be careful because sometimes people want your life. When people tell you get a life, no, they trying to get your life. That's
Yes.
what they trying to do.
Yes.
I remember all of the matriarchs in my family when I started getting older, and they would tell me, baby, when you dating, keep those friends away from your man.
Yes,
Away.
yes.
And don't tell them how well he's treating you.
No, no.
Been there, done that. Shoot.
I said, now that
I know
okay, I
somebody
get
who
the
cheated
part
on his
about
spouse
not discussing,
and it backfired on him
your
badly.
business with
Oh,
all that. But at the same time,
that's something else, Shannon. Mm-hmm.
if he can't, if he ain't got the, if he not, to me, if you are even willing to entertain, whether it's my friend or some stranger, if you're willing to just even think about it and entertain it, he definitely gone, and they gonna be gone too. See, I'm a hold both accountable, not just the friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
Oh,
hold
absolutely. Oh, yes.
and him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as talking about don't let your friend, no, I mean, no. Because like I said, if you're gonna do that, that tells me everything I need to know about both of y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Let me
I
ask you
can't
this
trust
question, if I
I
may.
can't trust you anymore. Go ahead, Vern.
The remember the Tyler Perry show where the woman and the guy was dating, he was rich and I think he was a lawyer, and um he was cheating and he went to live with the floozy, and he wound up getting shot by the drug dealer in the courthouse, and he got sick, and she was going with the other guy at the time. She was dating him, and when
Oh,
the
I
husband
remember
got
that.
shot, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, but
the
then
Diary of a Black Woman.
yes, thank you. I couldn't think of the name of it. And she went back to help him when he was sick. Now I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. It wouldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been
Well,
me
she,
because,
she damn near drowned him, remember?
Yeah,
She
she
put
but
did.
the,
still,
So
she
mad.
I
drove
wouldn't
that
even. I wouldn't
wheelchair
She
down
even.
them
jacked
steps.
him up.
I wouldn't even went that far. I wouldn't have did nothing
Me
because
either.
remember the girlfriend left them, took the money, cleaned them,
Yep.
Yeah.
and she went
Yep.
back and she took care of him. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I would have been
I don't think so either.
so
I wouldn't
loving
either.
to
But
do that.
I do tell you, I felt it when she pushed his behind down them steps,
Oh,
though. Remember?
oh yeah, I did
Yes.
I was
too.
like, let's
I
go.
And
did
when
too.
she whooped him and she
I
tried
can't
to drown him.
I can't even I can't answer that question because I can say right now I would hate for somebody to violate my trust, but I don't know if that were really to literally happen to me, how I would react.
Oh yeah, we don't know. This is
I,
what
I,
we
I
think.
can't even answer that question. I can't.
I'm pretty sure in my, well, because I'm like Vern, I've got serious trust issues. And
Mhm.
once you, and it takes me a long time before I hit that cut point. But once I'm there, once you get me there, like like one of the
Not-
memes I
yeah.
seen around, you gave me the scissors. The reason I cut you is because you gave me the scissors. Once you hand me those scissors, I'm done.
I like that. Well, that's what I was saying. We love hard, but once it's over, it's
Yeah.
over. Once, and I don't even know when that. I don't think we know when we're going to arrive at that point. But once it's there, we know it, and we're like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I agree with
What
that. I agree with that.
what
Like,
about this? This was a true story. This was a true, wasn't Tyler Perry. The husband and wife, I think they were married 15 years. He went out on a business trip, black. He went to Vegas.
Mhm.
Well, while he was there, he met up with two girls, strippers or whatever they were. And they set him up. And their boyfriends came and they robbed him. But when they robbed him, they must have hit him or pushed him too hard where he wound up dying. So the police had to call the wife. And meanwhile, all of this is on videotape. So I don't know. I don't think the police were rubbing it in. I think they were just trying to give her how it really went down. So of course on the tape, you see him with the girls hugging, smacking them on their butt, walking down the street. And then they show him when he gets mugged and when the guys beat him up and he wind up dying. Now, would you bury him?
yeah, I would.
You would? See, I don't know. I'm like, you're gonna have to bury yourself, boo, because
I would bury him.
I would cremate him. I would cremate him.
no, or I would have his family say, here, you handle that and do it, because I would be so upset and enraged that I'm honest. I don't think I would be able to sit there and grieve as a widow because he took that from me with my trust.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
of course I would be upset and I would cry, but I don't think I could give him a funeral.
Yeah, I wouldn't grieve, but if he didn't have any family, I'd probably go ahead and cremate him for $500
Right.
and just
Yeah.
be done with it.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
He would get a burial. He would get a burial.
yeah.
That happened within my family. Pretty much, not necessarily the exact same scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to, put out exactly what family member it was.
Oh, of course. No.
I was still young. And I was saying to myself, I don't know. You had to go find something. You got to get up. Because and she laid him out nicely. I don't think I could have did it.
That's what I'm saying. I think I would be so emotional and so hurt and so angry. I'm not gonna lie, because hey, I'm not always sweet and nice, but in that aspect, I'm thinking you're my husband. You're going to work and you're out here with two women. So how about if he didn't die? He could have got something
and brought it back to
them
you.
and brought it back.
Yeah.
But how about this? How about this? She probably already had something because she might have already known that he was cheating and took him back over.
I said that, Joy. I said that ain't the first time. That wasn't the first time.
No. He got caught, but if he cheated with two women, then he felt comfortable doing it. So the wife already knew. And just like what Webb said in the beginning, we have sixth sense. Every human being has a sixth sense. You know, something just shifted and it ain't right. You already know, like, wait a second, why do I feel like, why is that thought coming in my head?
But we as women are societally conditioned to ignore that.
Not me.
You're overreacting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at what the world is mine said. He said, I'm a good man, ladies. Thank you, the world is mine. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat. We super chatting.
Come on, do the whole thing.
No, I'm just looking at him. He said, I'm a good man. Don't jump on me.
I think we all are coming at, our observation, because there's a lot of, years of living and experience on this panel right now. So, it's kind of that, if the shoe fits, if it don't, don't worry about it.
Okay, so now what do you guys think about this now? So these things happen, but now the woman has to be, well, first of all, you have to teach people how to treat you. So you have to demand respect, and teach people how to do that. Now, then you love hard, and then when it's done, it's done. When it's over, it's over. Now, do you subconsciously take what you learned from that experience into the next relationship?
I think so. If you don't know how to heal, because people go from relationship to relationship. You have to. For me, I would have to be able to deal with that pain of being violated first with my trust and my love and anything else that may have happened. I have to deal with that and know that it may not necessarily have been my fault. Maybe I helped in some ways for him to push him away, but I need to sort that out before I jump into another relationship or before I talk to another guy and be like, all right, but it takes time and nobody wants to take that time to be like, let me focus on me. Let me mourn this pain that I got to go through by myself. And
Right.
having somebody come console me, rub my back, then my neck, kiss my neck, then my shoulders, and then go forward and be like, oh, now I have a new man. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, see, that's the thing too. We don't, even as kids, well, it starts to be conditioned out of us even as children. We aren't self-aware. You're not.
You gotta mute YouTube, Shawana. Go ahead, Miss Flora.
Is it working now?
Yeah, we hear you.
We can hear you.
But you have to mute the YouTube sound, Shawana.
Yeah, we're not, and especially as ladies, we're taught to look for external validation. When you look for somebody else to determine your value, your worth, tell you who you are, that's where all the problems gonna start. Because then all these people can come in, you get into these relationships that once you know yourself, and that's one of the good things about you getting old, get seasoned, as I like to say. You realize I never should have, put up with that because I didn't. Most of us don't know ourselves, and especially as women, we are not encouraged to do that. We're always encouraged to look outside of ourselves or do for others, or you're selfish for caring about yourself, or even when you stand up for yourself and stand up against bad behavior. It's like, oh, well, it couldn't be that. It can't be that bad. Us as women, we're constantly invalidated, even from little girls on up. And therefore, we end up getting into these crazy relationships because we don't love ourselves. We don't know ourselves.
And that's why when you if you learn to do that, if you do like Ayanna says and, do the work, you find that you need to stay true to yourself, because when the lady I was talking about, that husband had cheated on her 4 times that she knew of, and she finally kicked him out, she had done she bent over backwards for this man. He was heavily into pornography, and he wanted her to do what he saw on the screen. And I said, you need to explain to him that a lot of that stuff, is created, and you can't.
Wait a damn minute now. What? Wait. What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And
I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
Yeah. It's all right. And she tried to do all the tricks of the trade. She everything he wanted, he tried to do, and he still was messing with somebody else.
Yeah, that's something that happened to him when he was little.
That's what I'm talking about. And I want to bring up what Shannon brought up in the comments. They didn't want to be alone. That's another thing. And this is something that within our community, we teach young girls, if you ain't got a man,
you're not worth nothing. Yeah, you're not pretty enough. You're not pretty enough. There's something wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah, something wrong with you because you don't have a man.
Maybe if you dress this way, put this makeup on.
Yes. this is where all of this starts. And you have to address that. And that's what we haven't done.
Right.
So these little
Yeah.
girls end up doing stuff like, and just like that grown woman doing all this stuff that she didn't want to do, because that's what you're told as looking at
Right.
you gotta
And
keep
that's what made it even more
your
painful because she wasn't true to herself.
yeah.
She tried to do something that she knew she didn't want to do to please him, and he still was doing his thing.
And like I said, that's been going on even back in the good old days. That was going on back then too. See, that's all that my whole full circle. We got to get to the point. Women have to get to the point where they question everything.
Even men too, though. I think even men too, young boys
Yes.
and men, because I think it'd be one thing if we were complete and whole, but then you have the opposite sex still a hot mess. It still ends up making everything spoiled all over again.
Even more of a hot mess. That's all you got.
Everyone needs to take that time. Men and women need to take that time to heal. Look at the things that maybe contributed. Look at the things that you didn't like, and be like, it's okay. I'm by myself right now. It's okay.
Sure is.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You went through something that was like, and too, right? Some people invest many years into a relationship and they break up, and all of a sudden everybody's like, well, it's over and done with. Move on. No, you're talking about 5 years or more of somebody, your chunk of your life was with another person.
Yeah.
And now you're saying like, move on?
You have to take the time to heal and love yourself.
Remember who you were.
Yeah.
Right. And if necessary, find yourself again. But
I if you've never found yourself, because that's a lot of that.
You have to do the work. You have to do the work to find yourself. Definitely.
Yeah.
But
don't jump into a relationship wanting to find love because, like you said, you didn't take time to find yourself. You can do bad by yourself. You don't need help to do bad. Hello. No. I don't need you to help me live in the shelter. I can live in the shelter alone.
I don't.
And I agree with what Joy was saying. Be the difference, LLC, is that you can feel so bad about the ending of the previous relationship that you can be in a season of mourning, and if you're not careful, you'll fall into something else quick because you want that. You want that kindness and that feeling again, and you got to be careful not to jump right into something else.
You can bring the baggage from the previous relationship into the new one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the world,
not a good situation.
Go ahead, Finn. I just had to think.
I said, you can bring the baggage from the previous relation into the new one. And you're not even healed from the previous one. And you're just getting to know this new one. It might be like the old one.
Or worse.
And then you back at square one again.
Yeah, all at once.
Yeah.
Is Juana's mic on?
I've done that. I have. Just jumped, and thank God it wasn't bad for me. But I was still healing through the next relationship.
Yeah.
And that took that person that was in it with me through. And I tried to let them know up front, you know what, I don't think I'm ready yet, but they were ready because they didn't want to lose track of me another time because they knew me when I got with the first one. I remember that. Wow.
Is Shawana's mic on? Because I can't hear her.
She's not saying nothing.
Okay. What about this?
Yep. Y'all have it going so well.
Catherine, you coming back? You need me to drop the link? I will. Go ahead.
Have you ever been with your man? Let's say 5 years, and you love him and you trust him, and he's never gave you a reason to doubt him or anything. But your friend is a little loose, and you happen to see her with him in a compromising position. Yeah, like what do you do? Or better yet, you seen your friends mate in a compromising position, but it really wasn't the man's fault. It was the woman's fault. Like, do you say anything?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna address him before
And he's telling you no, he didn't do anything. That it was her fault. Like she
got on it.
Came on him.
Yeah, right.
More than likely, what I'm going to do in that situation is I'm going to address it with him, and then I'm going to say, "You need to tell my friend about it, otherwise, I will."
How about this? If he knew that she was like, because you are, like I said, we're human beings. We already can sense. We got that sense of when he come closer and when you start to rise up. At some point, you have self-control. You can say, all right, back up. You know, my girl right there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The best thing I've ever seen, one of my girlfriends was dating this fella, and he was a good-looking man. He was. And he was what the world considers good-looking. And he kept his body in shape, too, because he was a basketball referee. And we were all at a house party, and it was just, they didn't stay right up underneath each other. You know, they were confident in that. So they were mingling with other people. And this woman just kept coming over to him. She had done it twice, trying to talk to him, and he explained to her that he was with someone. The third time he did it, I'm just watching to see if there's going to be a breakdown or not from across the room. And he says, "You know what? You're embarrassing yourself. I told you I was here with someone. Could you please turn around and go someplace else?" I said, "Oh, that's
exactly what I would be looking for."
Yeah,
I would be looking across the room. I would go and hide so he wouldn't see me and be looking. And if I don't see that, hold on.
And she saw me looking at her, and I just did like this, fast shade. Right
I know. I get one, y'all.
I didn't even have to raise an eyebrow.
I got one, y'all.
Go ahead.
Now, my first husband. Now, my mic wasn't working earlier. Y'all had some good violent points, but I've been married twice and older now. Now I'm just fine by myself. If God send me a good one, I'm well. I'll be open. But right now, I am comfortable of being by myself. But my first husband, my best friend that I used to call my sister, knew her since grammar school. And early 20s, I had my child, the first one at 21. And back then, you know, they still have it now, but it's called WIC. And my husband at the time was saying, "She looking at me funny." I'm like, "Oh, no, that's my sister. She ain't gonna do nothing. It's all in your head." He keep on saying, "Well, she making me uncomfortable the way she looking." "Well, did she touch you?" You know, I'm defending her because she's my sister. Well, she spent the night one time, and I left the baby there, of course, and I was going to the corner store to get some milk for the baby. She was, of course, in the house. He went upstairs to his friend's house because he knew better. He said, "I don't trust her." I get midway, and I know when she went into that bathroom, I made sure she carried all her clothes and everything in that bathroom. I'm hearing her saying his name, walking around the apartment trying to find him. She's butt naked in the sheet, soaked and wet. I must have kicked her ass all the way down those damn.
Yes.
That would be an answer there, but yeah.
Tawana, did you get him too, though? After you got her, did you get him?
Well, honey, I made him a steak dinner and everything because the man done told me she wasn't no good. I'm up here defending my so-called sister.
Because she wanted your life. When you said your life, she was trying to get your life.
That's what that self-control is all about. People have it. We underestimate humans. We underestimate people. We always say, like you say, give excuses so that it's okay for people to slide and make slide into home base by accident. You don't fall into home base by accident. You don't slide into home base by accident. You know, like
not at all.
No, because you wanted if you you wanted to do that. It is the way I see it. So no.
Yeah, she wanted to, so she could say, "Oh, I had your man, and you ain't." That's what she wanted to do.
So
But she ain't get a chance to do it because he knew. And that means he loved you and he had feelings for you enough to push back and tell you, "Hey, your friend is a low down, dirty something or another."
That's right. That's right.
And it could have been opposite. It could have been his friend pushing up on you and you telling him, "Hey, your friend, trying, he coming at me wrong. I don't appreciate this."
Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say earlier, you do have it's on both sides of the coin, but I have had plenty of men while I was seeing someone or married come at me and I said, "Oh, you know what? Sorry, but I'm married. I didn't ask you all that."
Right.
I said, "Now I don't want you right now."
Right now.
You already done let me know who you are.
Exactly.
And the other thing that I would do is,
and then they get all mad in their feelings and start calling you all kinds of bad names.
Then you're like, "Oh, I made such a
and
good
you have to be
decision."
careful because did you see the young lady? I think it was last week that was killed because she went in the grocery store. She had 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah,
she went in the grocery store and the guy was like, I think he hit her on her behind and she probably cursed him out and said, "Don't be touching me. Who you think?" And he shot her.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
She was in Jersey. She lives in Jersey City. Well,
yeah. She was killed. She was killed.
Oh my God.
Wait, Catherine said she got arrested for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Down a friend.
So, but you also have to, as women, if you want to be on the up and up and be right, is make your friends allow you to respect them. What I mean by that is when I had girlfriends that wanted me to come around with them and their men, I made sure that it was on the up and up. I had a girlfriend that said, "Come on over, play some cards." I said, "I'll be there in 10 minutes. Got there in 10 minutes. Her husband opened the door. It didn't feel right. And I said, "Where is she?" "Oh, she went to the store to get you out some snacks." I pivoted and turned right back around.
Good girl. Good girl.
And "Oh, what's the matter, Kim? I'm not gonna bite you. I know you ain't gonna bite me, but I'm not coming in there."
You might try to bite me.
Yeah. So I went home and she called me, "Girl," just like Shawana, "Girl, why you leave? I don't think nothing." I said, No. I'm gonna give you your respect whether you know to ask for it or not. Because I don't want any problems later. I don't want somebody later on saying, "Oh yeah, your girl came over your house. You wasn't home. Did you know that?" Whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
And don't be coming to your house dressed inappropriate too.
Oh, I've had that happen. I had a boyfriend, and when my girlfriend and I shared an apartment, this was way back in the day, and I was always respectful when her man came over to visit. Well, my boyfriend sitting outside on the sofa with me, and she come out with a shorty robe on, going to the kitchen. I jumped straight up and grabbed her. I said, "Let's go." I grabbed her by her arm and took her right back to her bedroom. I said, "What's your problem?" "Oh, girl, I don't mean nothing else." No. When you come out there, you have a full robe on, or you don't come out at all. You can ask me to get what you need. You don't walk around my man looking like that. No.
Okay, I got a scenario for you.
Okay, come on.
You have a man that's well off, doesn't treat you the best, but buys you everything you want, doesn't spend time. Then you have the one that doesn't have a lot of money, treats you like a queen that you are. He can't buy you the diamonds, but he buys you an off a cubic zirconia, which is all right, and he takes care of you and do for you. Which one you choosing?
Number 2.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We've seen all of the celebrities, ladies who put up with that. And I'm like, why are you staying? You see he's treating you like dirt. I don't care how much money he has. That's his money.
Yeah.
What do you have for you?
Yeah, for me it's a no-brainer. But we have seen a lot of gold diggers, and that's what they do. And they put up and they put up and they put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
what
first
Sean
lady.
Shannon
Look at the
said.
first lady.
Look at Shaw Shannon. Look at his comment.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking over here now.
Blazed between her fingers and cut him up real bad and walked off.
Ooh.
God told me that
Wow.
he said his buddies was cheating on his wife, so she found out, and he was down at the bar. She didn't get mad, so what she did was hug him. Woo! So she played it off. After she hugged him, she had a razor
Wow.
blade.
He should have gone.
Cut
He
him up.
should have gone there. He should have ran.
That was a setup.
See,
Even
that
then,
was the signal.
when
That's the
even
signal. When if the woman you know did stuff like that, and if she's smiling at you, you better take off because see right now,
It's about to go
it's
down.
about
even
to go
still,
down.
even
You
still,
better
like
run if you want to still be on this side, or like Medea said it. I forgot which movie. She gonna put you 12 feet under, not 6
Mhm.
feet.
12.
12 feet.
And that
listen,
sounds like that's what that woman did. If
we
she
are
hugged him first, that was that signal right there.
we
You
still
got
human
you got a
beings.
few
We
minutes to
can-
leave. But you
That's what
still
Catherine
wanna
said.
be on
I
this
wouldn't
side.
marry the broke man if I had money, though. We ain't saying you had to marry him, Catherine.
Look,
But
man,
you know
we
what,
still
y'all?
human.
We as women can do better if we all, respect each other, because, I've had situations where, and sometimes men, I think my husband was being stupid that day. I don't know if he knew for sure, but I had a friend that I met. Well, she really wasn't a friend. She was just a woman from the neighborhood, and we were becoming friends. And she came by the house one day, and I wasn't expecting company. So I told her, I said, the next time you come, let me know, okay?
Mhm.
Because we might be busy. Okay. Now, I come home from work, put my key in the door, open the door, go back to the family room. There she is sitting at my kitchen table, my dinette set, and my husband is standing in the kitchen, and they laughing and kikiing it up. And I said, "What's going on here?" Like that. Oh, she just came by to wait on you. I walked right over there to her, grabbed her by her collar. Let's go. Let's go.
Not the collar. Not the collar.
Yes, the back of her collar. Let's go. And she was, she was a little bit shorter than me, so she was like, trying to get it. And and I said, well, she said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I told you not to come over here unless you let me know. Now you sitting up in my house disrespecting me, and I don't like it. I'll talk to you another time." And I shut the door in her face while she was talking. And I was hoping her nose was right there where the door would have got open. And it wasn't. So, and then I go in and I start on him. I'm like, "What's your problem? You heard me tell her not to come by here unless she called." "Oh, she didn't mean that. Girl, that girl don't mean nothing to me." I said, "No, see, you stupid. You stupid. You don't know what she had planned, talking you up, and y'all keep keying it up in here. Y'all gonna respect me. Don't ever do that no more. You going out with her." That's the way it was. But sometimes, but don't y'all think I just think he was being stupid. I think they don't realize sometimes when it's not obvious that the woman is trying to either disrespect your woman or trying to get ready to come on to you. What do y'all think?
Yeah, they don't recognize what's inappropriate.
I don't give them that much. You can't be that ignorant unless you're a child, a young boy. A young boy, yes. A grown man, no.
He gotta know my wife is gonna kill me if she to walk through this door. Don't matter what, my wife gonna kill me.
Yeah,
that's what he should be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should be to me. That's a what is it, prerequisite or whatever of calling yourself an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even feel comfortable going into a married couple. First of all, I'm still single, right? Okay, I am unmarried. Let's put it that way. I am not married. I wouldn't necessarily want to have married friends. Hear me out. When I say married friends, I mean going out and hanging out. Because our situations, our life experiences are a lot different. You guys have married experiences, and I have single people or unmarried people's experiences. And here I am being a third wheel to somebody else's relationship. I don't know if that's a good deal. I don't think that's a good deal. I wouldn't hang out. We could talk on the phone. We can go to all people gatherings, but just the three of us hanging out, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, why would you want to, do that anyway? It's
People
like,
feel comfortable. People feel comfortable saying, well, they married and we friends. I just don't know how married people and unmarried people could be like.
no, you her friend, you're not his friend.
Well, I don't know. I think to me it's all. I don't have a problem with it, and we have had now this. I'm on my second marriage as well, and both my husband and I have had, and still do. Now the one friend that is now married. Um, we used to hang out, but when they were single, we used to hang out all the time. But all of us are secure within ourselves. I didn't want him, he didn't want me, and and we had also a female, single female. My husband didn't want her, and I ain't gonna put up with that no way. So that it's not an issue. But for me, um, people have to be secure within themselves. Now, I have had even other married couples, you know, where it seemed like there was some insecurity on the female's part. And it's like, I don't want your man because I'm secure within myself. I got a man. So to me, it has to be, you have to be secure within yourself. I don't
Well,
see a problem with it.
and I'll tell you one of the worst feelings I ever had. Like I said, I always give another woman their respect. If I have to call your home and I need, say my husband is on a business trip and I need your husband to do something for me, I'm not going to call and speak directly to him. I'm going to speak to
Talk
her.
to life.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to say, would you mind if Walter does this for me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, she can say all she wants to, girl, you didn't have to do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, she knows deep down that's what she was thankful that you did too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think that we can prevent a lot of this as women. Well, like I was saying, the worst feeling I had is my husband was out of town and he had some problem with his airline ticket. And I wasn't home, so I wasn't at the computer. And we didn't have all of the technology with the cell phones at the time. And he said, can you stop at the library and do something with my ticket? Library was closed. Well, a friend of mine's home was nearby. I said, okay, I'll stop over there. She wasn't home. Her husband was home.
Mm.
And I did not want to go in there. My husband said, if you don't do this, we're going to lose this $300 on this ticket, and I need to do this by a certain time. I said, okay. I couldn't get her. So I knocked on the door. And I said, do you mind if I do this? He said, yeah, there, your computer's upstairs. So I'm thinking, I'm going to run in here and I'm going to do this and get out of here. Ran upstairs, worked on the computer, got it done. Don't y'all know, as soon as I was coming down the stairs, she opened the door.
Oh Lord.
I was so, and I said, hey. And she said, hey, what's going on? And I said, I just got this, and I was showing her the paperwork and stuff. But what made me feel bad is I know I don't like that. And when I looked at her eyes, we both, and I just felt so bad. And I just went on out. He wasn't upstairs, thank God, but it just made me feel so uncomfortable because I know how I would have felt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but anytime it's preventable, there's no way I would do that. I wouldn't even go over to Finn's house and she wasn't there. And I would sit outside and wait till she got there.
Yeah, the same here, Kim.
Yeah, you just don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, and that woman I told you all about where she had went out to get snacks and her husband said, I'm not gonna bite you. Well, guess what? 6 months later we found out he was having an affair with somebody.
But see, that was as far the way.
Girl, it could have been
No, it couldn't.
But you can't if that person wants to cheat, they're gonna do it. You can't stop it. That's why I say you have to know yourself and know if that's gonna be once they do that, are you going to stay with them or give them another chance or whatever, whatever? Like, see, me and my husband, he can have, a female can come by here, mutual friends of ours, female, he come by here and I'm not here. I don't have a problem because I know he ain't going to do nothing. And if he does, if he one day, lose his marbles and decide to do that, that's the day he gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with me. I ain't doing that with no other man. I don't want no other man.
Mm-hmm.
So he has no problem with somebody coming here, and he's not here because
Well,
we trust each other, and we, like I said, we know ourselves. We are, I'm a one woman man. He's a no one man woman, and he's a one woman man.
Yeah.
okay. So now let me clear up what I was saying. I'm not saying that I thought that he would do anything, but it was a respect issue for me. I asked her not to come by my home.
Yeah,
And
okay. Now see that
um,
if that's what y'all have clarified, then yes, I would not do that if I know that is your feeling.
mhm.
Is what I'm saying.
And she did it anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
Situations.
she was making a stand.
Or when a female keep on coming, your man looked good today, or if that was my man, I would do this. If that was my man, I would dress like this. If that was my man, you kick that chick to the curb real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's trying to get you.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I understand what you're saying, but I am now at this age, I am secure in my skin, and if he feels that that's better, then take your behind on over there. But don't think that you
I
gonna be
know,
over
let me
there and
alone.
still here.
Okay, I got a question for you, all of you. You're in a relationship. Let's go 10 years, and you come to find out he has a 2-year-old. Let's go 2 years. So, because now and find out he has a child, but you didn't know. And he was
He
like
lied.
still taking care of the child, sending the child money, but he wasn't involved with the mother. He was
He
just
lied.
being a good father.
But he
Would you
lied.
stay?
Yeah,
I would.
that's still a choice.
I'm not saying that I would stay or go, but he lied.
Yeah, it's lying by omission.
That's a kid. That's a whole nother
He was
human
trying to
being.
protect you.
No, that's a whole
He
nother
was trying
human
to protect
being.
you.
I could be stepmom.
Well, in my case, that's still, I would say it still feels like it's lying by omission because you might be the type of woman who doesn't necessarily want kids, but let me know and then let me make that
Right.
decision. Don't make that decision for me.
True.
But you're already in the relationship now. You done been together or married 10 years.
But he
And
lied.
how you find out he had a 2-year-old because the child needed like a blood transfusion, and the DNA came to the house, and you're like, what is this? And he's like, oh, I have a child. I'm not involved with the mother at all. He just takes care of the child, and
My heart would
He
be
don't have
broken.
to take care of the kid or not. He lied. That's a whole 10. That's a whole 5. That's a whole bunch of birthdays that you were sending secret gifts to that kid.
well, it's
That's
only 2 years old.
That's a whole bunch of birthdays, whether it's 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 5 months. That's a whole bunch of new beginnings that you didn't want to share with me. That's a lie.
Are you staying? Are you automatically leaving?
I don't know. Remember, I said earlier, I don't know how I would feel, but you lied to me, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's hard to get over the trust, when somebody lies to you and it's that big of a lie.
Yeah, because that's not a small, I had this car over here, that I didn't tell you about. That's not the same thing. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's change.
That's
Let's change gears for a little
devastating.
bit.
I'm just trying to get to the situation of being a good man, like he did for you, always provided, was always there. You guys did everything. Like it's hurtful. It is hurtful.
Okay.
But trust is more valuable. It's one of those things that there's no price tag. There's not enough
Right.
money. Trust
Yeah,
is
but he's living a
extremely
secret
valuable.
life on top of that. You've been together for that long, and he
Right.
has a child over there, and that baby still would need that. Is he a good man? He's gonna be in that child life, So now he's doing a double life on you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
He
it's
be a good
trust.
man to you and her. I mean, like a lot of that cases happens too, because it was a one night stand or we was broken up for a week or two and stuff just happened, I was lonely and she was there kind of and the relationship continued on with whoever he was with first. But I mean, like that's a whole, like you said, that's a whole nother human being, so that's kind of a subject that all three of them have to talk about, not just him and the wife. What's up with this girl? I mean, then all this time now the wife is gonna feel like what else? That's
There might be some other ones out there.
Yeah.
That's
a trust issue. Very much.
Yeah.
That's a whole baby. It just depends on the situation. Everybody's situation is different.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's situation is different. My cousin had a situation. It didn't go well at the beginning, but years later they got back together. There's a chick come knocking at the door. She's already got his baby in the stomach, saying, "When you moving out of your house?"
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because he told her that the wife and him was
What in the world?
and that was his house. So she believing what he's saying. So of course that didn't go well at all. And then years later, it's like a Madea movie. He got sicker than a dog. And then, she done left his tail because what he doing? Same old thing. Being a dog.
Like some grit for you. I'm cooking
grit ball.
So now he talking about move back in and everything with her because he don't have nowhere to go because he done get sick and everything. And it's at that point of life that she's feeling lonely and stuff. He just said the right magic words and stuff. Girl, our family went in on her. It wasn't good. But once again, at the end of the story, it's between them. And he apologized and went to church and renewed himself and everything. And I'm like Miss Florida, everybody got their own thing about that church stuff. Because, honey, at the end of the day, that house or that Lord is not going to take care of you. It's the heaven above that's going to take care of you. Because like I told her, you let him in the house, he going to get well. And see what else going to happen. What the little old bastard do?
He left her.
And check. Let me see your answer.
Not a little old bastard.
Oh, bastard.
That's messed up. But that's the messed up thing is that's what we do to each other, and that's messed up. So now we scarring and rescarring, and anybody who is growing up underneath that, the people that we think are invisible but can see you clearly, are seeing this type of behavior, and that's why the cycle continues over and over and over. It's a bad thing. I like it. It's sad.
The Sure Shannon show says he's seen a lot of men having two families and they don't know about each other. That's too much work and effort to even keep up. I can't see putting myself in that spot. No.
Well, how about the kids being up liking each other, thinking they're getting along? Yeah, you're getting along all right because that's your brother and your sister. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah. Hello.
And that's why family reunions.
That's my story. That's my story.
Yeah, I seen a basketball player, a professional player, talk about that one time. He was liking this girl across the street, and that's when the people had to stop him and say, "Hey, wait a minute, let me tell you something. This your sister." Like, oh my God.
That how that can mess up somebody's head. Like now, I almost committed incest.
But it wasn't on purpose. It was a total not knowing.
But see, that's the thing. We think we do things innocently, but you still mess up somebody's head. You don't know what kind of emotional scar now he feels about women because of that. Like, we think things are so innocent, but it's more than that. We're still human beings. Everybody has different levels of understanding. Everybody has different levels of feeling. And you just don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about this? Has anyone ever had a good man? And if you did, are you still with that person or are you not? Because that happens too. I know people that are in great relationships and it just don't work out.
Yes.
Well, I'm single, so that answers that question right there.
Well, you still could have had a good man, Maybe you were in college and you guys had to break up because he went to college somewhere else or he moved to another country or something like that, or went to the military or something.
Yeah.
We're friends. But I will say I will be a little tight if he ever ends up with somebody. But that's just me being honest. I would be tight, like, dang, that should have been me. But at the end of the day, I have my chance not to decline. So that's my fault.
Or you find a good person, but you just not interested in them, you know, in that kind of way. You know,
at that time.
You're not attracted to him that kind of way. I may have met a lot of nice, good, you know, good men, but I wasn't attracted to him as in a relationship kind of way.
Okay.
Why do you think that was?
It just
that's what.
You know, just that.
I mean, was it a look thing or was it a personality thing?
It was just that one connection kind of thing. You know, you love him like a brother, like, you know, you good.
Friend zoned him.
Soul and everything, but it was not that oof.
It just happens that way sometimes. I knew a guy that told me, he said, oh my God, he said, I used to worship the ground you walked on, but you couldn't see me. I just saw him as a friend. You know, and I couldn't help it.
Them. And when you put them in that friend zone, they can't get out.
Yeah,
and I wanted to see him as more when he told me that. I'm like, really? And I felt so bad, like, gee, I didn't know.
Yeah, oof.
Wow. All right, well, here's something for you guys. This is something a little bit different. How do you think men handle losing their hair today?
They don't. You never see the
I think they think it's sexy.
I think so.
Because a lot of women like bald-headed men.
There's a lot of men.
But if your head is shaped like this, that's not cute.
There's a lot of men who have dreads now. There's a lot of men who all of a sudden have the hairlines that are square. It's like,
I call it the Eddie Monster haircut, which I hate.
Oh yeah, that Eddie Monster.
I hate that. I can't stand that.
That's Jim Brown.
No, see, you're terrible. Talk about that man like that. Tell him who you talking about now.
He's one of those football commentators, and so he sprayed. You can see he does grease and formula or something because he has a line, but his scalp is blacker than his hair. And I'm like, what? This man come on TV every week with that stuff.
I think it depends on.
You need to write him and tell him.
Oh man,
like, we know.
Write
him and say, you need to try something a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, so what
look natural?
Okay, everybody, what looks sexier to you? Does a bald head look sexy to you, or a man with hair?
If they have a bald head, they have to have the right shaped head, like Verns was talking about.
Yeah.
He can't have no little bump at the top of his head or whatever.
And it's not even necessary for me. It's not even necessarily the shape of the head, because some guys, their head might not be shaped all that. I like the ideal for a bald head, but it fits their face.
Exactly.
Okay.
I need a man with facial hair. I don't like a plain face.
I
don't want to call it what I think it is, but I don't like that. I like, you understand? I like at least a goatee or a mustache, or no, not the sideburn. I'm not.
Vern, do you like the whole bush? Do you
no,
like?
I don't like that. I don't like all that.
What's his name? Kevin Durant.
I don't know. I mean, I know the name, but I can't picture it.
On the Rocket.
Like the Philadelphia beards. That's not cute to me. I need just a little bit of mustache, a little bit of goatee, a little bit of facial hair. I don't like plain.
You just want to feel it when you rub up against him. That's what you want.
I want a manly man. Manly man.
That's for me. Because some guys, and maybe it's because I'm used to seeing them with facial hair, and then when they shave it off, he's like,
what?
Yeah, that upper lip ain't got no hair on it. Oh my God, it looked disgusting.
Yeah, it look like a booty. It's like
the other way. The other way.
That's because Damon Wayans he had the he had this going on, so he had to cut it off.
Hmm. But see, now it's come back. Bald heads have come back in fashion. You know, the bald heads kind of, I didn't realize it until now that we're talking. It's been like a fashion thing. You know, back in the 70s, bald heads was sexy.
Like Montel Williams is a nice, handsome guy with a bald head.
Yeah.
You like the old Shaft or the new Shaft?
Yeah. And see, then when the 80s and 90s came out, the bald heads was like, if you, and I think men had a lot more trouble if they were losing their hair during that time. And see, now bald heads have come back into fashion. So I think it kind of varies.
Now it's the beard game. Everybody wants that beard.
That beard.
I don't like that. I think they look suspect with that beard.
Oh, my son he's got such a nice looking face. And I told him, why don't you trim your beard up so it can look real smooth, you know, like that guy from Wham, you know, or somebody. But his is just like, like,
yeah. They look suspect to me. I can't. And the tight pants and the high waters, that's not cute to me. That's not like I don't know. Wow. It's something. I'm old school. I like the men that used to like Malcolm X with the suits and the handsome. Men don't dress like men today. They got the jeans sagging, and that's not cute to me. Or the yo ma. I'm not yo ma. I'm not yo. No, that's not. I can't talk to you like that.
Yo.
A language. I don't understand that.
Oh, I have never liked that. And you know, dudes used to do that back in the day as well. You know, hollering at you. It's like,
hey, the crowd go with that shade?
Yeah.
All that stupid stuff.
But let me tell you, these young girls fall for it. And guess what? Give me your number. Put it in my phone. All right, I'll meet you at the hotel tomorrow. You just met them 12 hours ago. Like, really? That's what they're doing today.
Okay. So now, do you think that men in general, or maybe African American men in general, are feeling better about mental health and counseling, therapy, things of that nature?
No. That's I think that's a bad question to ask a female. Honestly,
I want to know. I want to know
what's in their head. Like, you need to ask a man that. Like, only a man can answer. Like, you are a man. How do you feel about going to counseling when there's too much pressure for you? I can't say whether or not a man feels comfortable going to counseling.
I think the majority of men that I know, and the majority of those are African American. They are not feeling, even though they could use some help, they're not feeling therapy at all.
Well, you know that as far as the medical, psychological, all of that is not a big thing in the African American community as a whole.
Exactly, or the Latino.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been built to be like strong.
Even so, to the point that I was watching This Is Us, and they did a show on it where one of the characters named Randall, his wife kept trying to talk him into seeing someone, and he was adamant about not doing it, but he finally realized that he could use some help, and he went on ahead and did it. And they showed how angry he was in the process, you know, getting started, but then he realized later on that it helped him a lot. So I've been talking more and more to different men in my life about it, because there's some things when you go through as a child, you never really get over, and you don't realize that you're suffering from it. But, you know, of course, women are more apt to see someone than men are. I think it does happen to them.
I would say this, the top 5 men that in my immediate family, I don't think they would do therapy, but I wouldn't either. And I have never done it. Okay. And of course, we got a lot of stresses as Black women. We know that, but yeah, I haven't. Because I don't think they would understand. Even if we went to a Black counselor, I don't think they would understand. Okay. In my opinion.
Okay, I got you. Because you know what the goal is they're supposed to help you manage the feelings that you have, you know, manage what you're going through so that you won't be in this deep depression. Of course,
I don't think it's offered to us as Black people easily and readily as it is for people that are not Black. I really, really believe that.
And you know,
Because
this is what they showed in the show I was telling you about, because he went through with a white therapist, and then toward the end he said, I think I would feel more comfortable with a black therapist, someone that can
Mhm.
more understand what I'm going through. Yeah. So yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Because when I lost my husband, my first husband, he was young and I was young, and I was never offered therapy or to go here. And that's what I'm saying. I just think that if I was white, it would have been offered to me like, here, go here, go here, go here, and it just never
Mhm.
happened.
Sure, Shannon
And I
said, I know. Go ahead, Vern. You're going to say
no,
something.
no, no, that's it.
He says, I know somebody who thinks she knows everything. You can't tell her anything. She thinks she is an expert at everything. She can't see she needs serious therapy. You can't tell her that at all. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah, that's sad. A lot of times the ones that need it the most are the ones that don't think they need it.
Hmm.
And in her mind, she doesn't need it. Right, right. Sometimes I think they're fearful of it. You know, um, they don't know what's going to come out, from that. But I do know that one of the best movies I saw related to that was The Prince of Tides, and it was Nick Nolte, and Barbara Streisand was the psychiatrist, and his family was going through a lot of mental illness, and he went to her to figure out what's going on with him, and come to find out that he had hidden some trauma that had happened to he and his family when he was a child, and he finally got to the bottom of it, because that can cause disease in your body, and it was a disease of the mind. So, just wondering what you guys thought about that.
But think about it. In the I'm not talking about the upper blacks that have all the money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Mhm,
the people that work every damn day that gotta get up and go to work.
mhm,
People like that, black, they go through a lot of trauma. They see black on black crime. They see
mhm.
white on black crime. They see children getting killed, teachers in school touching kids. They don't get therapy readily, immediately available to them.
That's true.
And I
That's
think that
true.
they could use it. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
not offered to them like, oh, go see Dr. But if you're white and you slept with your student, the first thing they do is give you therapy
Therapy.
because
Yep.
you're too pretty to be going to jail. What the hell is that about?
Yeah.
Mhm,
I'm being honest.
No,
mhm.
she telling
I
you,
know.
the
What is
truth.
that
That's the
about?
truth.
You definitely are. Like I say, and it's a stigma within the community.
Community, yeah.
Um, because what I'm sure everyone that's sitting up on this panel, the only one who may not have heard it is Joy. What happens in this house stays in this house.
Woo, girl, please.
What happens in
That's the
Vegas
only
stays
person
in
that knows
Vegas.
that.
In the old days, they took it to the grave.
Yes,
Yes, they
and there's a
did and
lot of
still do.
Yes,
Still
familiar
do.
it,
That's what I
trauma.
said. I'm that perfect example. If I
Mhm.
Some of you may know and some of you may not, but if you heard my story, you'd be like, what? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
my
know
book
I
is gonna
need
be coming
therapy.
out soon. So
Well, and that's the scary part about if you're not going to see a therapist or seek therapy. I just think that the family shouldn't keep things a secret from within. Now, I can speak from experience. My family, there is a great uncle in my family who I believe he's a predator, and
hmm
everybody found out about it. This was years ago because he had actually touched one of my cousins on her breast. So she told her mom. Her mom believed it, and she went off on him, and then she made sure that everyone else in the family knew about it. So what the result was is he didn't get excommunicated from the family, but people were aware of it. And when he was around, people would say, okay, watch your kids, Uncle so and so is here, or be careful. Now, no other child was they had to have that type of inappropriate thing happen to them because of that. He wasn't able to do that to anyone else. Now, I know another family that they hid it, and it just kept going on in the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sister, grown women wouldn't tell the other sister,
Mm-hmm.
watch your
Mm-hmm.
kids because Uncle so and so did this to mine.
Was a
So
creep.
then, exactly, and it happened to everyone. And all of this disease and all of this dysfunction in this family. And then when it finally broke out, one of the baby sisters said she told, what happened. And then the oldest brother is saying, I don't want my daddy to go to jail. Now, these are grown people,
Oh well.
and you're not concerned about what happened to your sister. Because she was, I think, 22 at the time, and he was probably 30. And to say something, that,
And see,
that's just,
that's double trauma because when a child is taught you're supposed to obey the authorities, but the authority and the authority figures is being your parent, anybody that's older than you.
mhm.
Yet they have violated you. You tell, and then they see. Okay, now if the child lie, you ready to beat they behind.
Yes.
Yet this older person did something wrong to them, and
Mm-hmm.
you like, oh, and basically enable and protect
Yep.
the one that did that. That's double trauma.
Mhm.
To
And it's
that,
still
that
going on
person that
today.
they
Look at
have
the
to.
Catholic churches.
Oh,
All
yeah.
they do is move the priest from
To
from
another
one
area.
synagogue to the next.
Yep.
That's all they do.
So
But
I'm
this
not a,
child that they touch is now have to go through this trauma at 20 and 30 and 40 and 50, and they're not understanding why they can't comprehend stuff is because you were touched when you were 10 years old by
Mhm,
minister or preacher or whatever he was, and all they did was move him to the next synagogue, and didn't nothing happen to him though.
mhm.
mhm,
Nothing happened.
mhm,
No, not at all. And that's the reason I'm not a believer of secrets. I don't, I don't believe in, telling all your family business outside of the family, but especially within the family, let people know so you can stop this, I call them generational
Break
curses.
the cycle.
But you know what? A lot
Yeah.
happens a lot
You
of
need
times
to interrupt interrupt the pathology. Go ahead, Miss Farrell.
Uncle Creepo should have went to jail.
Yeah. But what happens a
Uncle
lot?
Well,
Creepo
I
should have
mean,
been.
yeah, that was in the other family, right? But the one in my family, he didn't even get the opportunity to do anything bad enough to go to jail because, I mean, it was wrong for him to touch her. But in the other family, there was actually molestation going on.
Hmm.
Go
And then
ahead.
there's triple trauma because the person who does finally tell and stand up, now the whole family turns against them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. But why you trying to start trouble?
Or telling, especially if it happened to even girls and boys. Oh, you was
Mhm.
being fast. 6, 7 year old, they don't even know nothing about being fast.
And it's harder for the young boys in the family
Oh yeah.
because it's so much be happening with these. I be looking at the TV shows and everything, and they grows up, and you wonder why that man now is acting the way he acting. It's because of that stuff.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Like with
young girls, but it's a lot be going on with those poor little boys.
what's his name? Donnie McClurkin.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with him. He was abused, molested by his uncle and his uncle's son, which was his first cousin. And so he questioned his sexuality because of it. You would have to as a little boy, 6 years old, 7 years old, that particular time. So, I do realize I was blessed in my family where I didn't have to encounter anything like that. I think the men in my family, even if they had even an inkling, I think they knew it was death around the corner because my mom and her sister and my grandmother, they weren't having that. Mm-mm.
He said,
Well,
on the corner.
I'll tell you this. And when my kids were little, right after my first husband died, of course now, you're starting to date and they're all like, and when I met my new husband, I always told, I had 4 girls and 1 boy. I set them all down. Always told them, I don't care if granddaddy, uncle, brother, Anybody, even if you feel like I'm touching you and it's inappropriate, you tell somebody.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, if they stay with somebody, like, because they didn't stay with a lot of people, believe me, my kids never was without me. But if they did, kids, I want to stay with my cousin. As soon as they get home, come here. Did anybody touch you inappropriate? Did anybody make
Yeah.
you feel uncomfortable? Did anybody touch, down there, up here? Man, listen. Cause my kids already knew I'm going to jail. Cause I already said I'm going to jail if anybody ever touch you. Cause I'm here to protect you, and your dad is deceased. I have to do everything that I have to in my might to make sure nothing has ever went wrong. I don't care if it was a teacher, anything. Believe me, because teachers do it too.
Oh
Teachers
yeah.
Oh my God. You know what? That reminded me of something when you said that. I was watching an Oprah show probably about 15 or so years ago, and they actually had this organization of pedophiles. And you know how you go to a conference, how you can see the marquee and it shows you which seminar is being held in which room, which ballroom. Let me tell you, they had classes such as how to gain a child's confidence. You
What?
know,
What?
yes, it was completely legal.
Mm-mm-mm.
How to know
Mm-mm-mm.
when a child doesn't have proper parenting.
Oh my
Things
God.
like that.
Wow.
And let me tell you guys, they did an anonymous poll asking what their different career paths were. All of them involved children. Uh, Boy Scout leader, youth
Well, we know
mentor,
what that's about.
Yeah.
pediatrician, youth counselor, teacher. Oh, it was awful. And that made me know when my little boy was growing up, let me tell you, when they said, okay, you can wait outside for his doctor's appointment, I said, no, 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 no. I'm going with him. Oh, well, we don't normally, well, that's the way it has to be.
That's right.
You know, I always made sure. And I even had I think it was before, or maybe, when they're supposed to have a woman, not a woman, but another person in the room when you're going to have a medical procedure. And I don't know if it's just gynecology or not, but I went because I had been in a car accident, and I went to go get my back checked out. And I encountered a freaky doctor because he wanted me to check my back, and so he wanted me to disrobe and keep my underwear on. And then he pulled his chair, the little chair with the casters on it behind me, and he said, "Okay, can you bend over?" And I'm like, I'm turning so I can move, so I don't stick my behind in his face. And he's saying, "Oh, that's okay. And by the way, you can drop your." I said, "Oh, no, 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 no." I said, "No, we don't need that
What?
a
Come
back
on.
examination."
Oh
You
my
know,
Mm-mm.
and
Mm-mm.
I said,
You
"Are we
going to
done?"
the dentist and he telling you to take off your clothes.
Yeah, right? I know. So I went outside when I finished, and I told the receptionist, I said, "You got a freak back there," and she just grinned.
We said you got a freaky one, and she knew.
Yeah, she knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
You
knew.
know.
So you have to watch your children. I feel so bad for the people who trusted the priests and they let their little boys, go and be the altar boys and things of that nature, and then something happens to them. How can you live with that? That's a terrible feeling. You know, to know that you
Rec-
put your child there. Because you trusted that person.
Recently, about 3 weeks ago, it was a bishop of a church. He was being arraigned for molesting a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
like, you know,
yeah, and then they just move them like oh, can't remember if it was Vern. They move him to another parish, and that's it.
I know when my
But
son was little, I was scared to let him go to the bathroom. When you out in
right.
public,
yeah.
he was like, "Mom, I'm too big to keep going in a lady's bathroom." But I go outside, go around the bed. I was just
Yeah,
scared.
yeah. Well, you know what
Even
I
in the churches, you have to watch them when they're going to the bathroom by
yeah
themselves. Yeah.
what I
Can't
did
Yes.
to Tawana
think that
was
we're in here.
I would walk when he got a little bit too old to go into the ladies' room. I would stand outside the men's room, and I
Mm-hmm.
would talk to him. I would say, "Hey, you okay?
You okay? You
Take me
okay? You
strong."
okay?
And one time he didn't say anything, and I said, "I'm coming in."
They said, "Mama, all right."
You
I'm
know,
with you. I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Look, call me what you want. You won't. Yeah, look.
I know
not
it ain't.
today.
I told one man started laughing at me. He said, "That's good." I said, "Ain't nothing in there I haven't seen before." I
That's
was
right.
coming in. No. And, it's too much going on. I even heard, was it a representative or was it a senator who was caught in some bathroom trying to catch a feel on somebody? I just can't.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Ooh.
And
Yeah,
especially now with all the kids at home. Okay, granted, the parents are frustrated trying to homeschool and all that. Don't just walk out and leave your kid on that computer. They can be in any of these little crazy back page things, all these little crazy internet sites, and there's pedophiles that are in there. You can tell them I'm only 12, and they're still like, "Oh, okay, 12 don't matter. I'm 32." What the hell? What do you mean it don't matter? Yes, it does matter.
Yeah.
Vern,
So
one of the best
watch your
things.
children.
One of the best things I saw was that what you were talking about, and it was one of those 2020 shows, and 30-year-old men coming, and they put the cuffs on them. Like, what are you here for?
Yeah.
You know what you was there for.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what Deborah said. Deborah Catch It By Face said, "It's emotional on girls and physical on boys. Boys, when they become men, feel they have to prove their manhood all the time. So they walk around with a lot of hidden anger." That's interesting insight, Deborah. Thank you for that. Wow. So yeah, so we all know you watch. You know what? I'm gonna tell you all the truth. Secret. I used to watch my husband. I wanted to make sure that nothing was wrong with him, around my children.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everybody would do that.
Yeah. I just I want, and when I saw that he was okay, I was okay, but and he didn't see me seeing him. It's like the watchers of the watchers are being watched.
Oh yeah. Okay, did all of you grow up with your dad in your house?
My dad was in the house a partial time. They were divorced when I was young.
Okay, did you think, or do you think now that your dad was a good man?
I think that he was good toward my mother and me to the extent that he could be. I think he was. I think he had a lot of issues when it came to knowing how to be a family man, and I think that came from a result of his mother and father. His father was physically abusive to his mother, so the one time he tried it with my mother, it was over. But he was good as far as I could see to us. He had his flaws, of course, like all of us do. And
what you say, Shawana?
I could see that.
Well, for me, as a young girl, I would say my father was good, but my father was a Rolling Stone. Okay, because I got so many brothers and sisters out there. But if I needed anything or my mother needed anything, we got it.
So he was a good provider.
Right.
Yeah, being good is relative. Yeah.
What about you other ladies? Because we always, women look up to their father as the first man, quote unquote, in their life. And we kind of veer off and look at our mate as that, as such. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then especially when our mothers don't tell them a lot of the dirt that they do. We grow up
right.
Matter of fact, I just saw Ayanla Fix My Life. What's her name? Nicole. Oh my God.
Lisa Ray
McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I could have forgot her name. We went to school together. You found out there that her father was doing so much dirt, but her mother didn't go around telling her what was going on, and she looked at her father as if he was nothing was wrong with her father.
She always talked like that. I always remember her saying that. Yeah, I always remember her saying that.
And I remember that from high school. I remember that. hearing her. I mean, he never said much about, and I remember seeing her mother, and he never said much about her mother, but talked about the dad. But I know people who they felt like they didn't want to tell or involve the children in what was
So
going
did
on.
he die young?
I don't know how old he was when he died, but he did.
Yeah.
But he was abusive too. But I guess the
What
point
about
I'm
you?
getting at is that when you look at when the mother doesn't share with the children what's going on, and a lot of people have different feelings about that, the children will end up turning around and hating that mother
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
they don't realize what really was going on, that they were hidden from or shielded from. Okay.
But
Joy?
I grew up with my father in the home, and but the thing about it, when I was a kid, I thought he was a good guy, but my dad was a gambler as well. So he used to be driving. I remember going to a store, and I was wondering why the store was all dusty and dirty. I said, this, it was actually a number place,
Wow.
and it was a storefront and then all the people that my father knew, he knew by a pet name, not their real name, and was a guy named Colcut. And I was like, wow, that's his name, but he lived in a world where he was playing bookie numbers and
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
poker and things like that. And so he was a nurse. So he had a job. He worked a midnight shift, but also he had side hustles where he took care of like polio patients and stuff to have extra money so he can gamble. And one time I remember my mom and dad had a fight because he had went and he played poker and he lost his paycheck.
Ooh.
Yeah. And she wasn't having it. So, I grew up in that kind of environment. I thought I had a good guy as a father, but he had his flaws,
Joy?
Yeah, I grew up with both parents. It was I had a decent childhood. Both my parents are great. So, I don't know if there's any secrets. I've never
Right.
been told any, but
And that's good.
But I'm saying, as we say, a good man, you look at your father and say, "Oh yeah, my dad was a good man."
oh,
In the
is a
sense
great
of,
man. He's a great man. He's definitely a great man.
That's awesome. Now, from what I look for and what I have, my dad on that scale was not at the same level. No,
okay.
no way.
He's a great man.
Miss
I agree.
Sierra, Miss Full Roller, because she said she was married twice, right?
Yeah.
She probably getting set up for her live coming on.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Oh, she
we're
getting
going
ready
to
to go
end
live.
this.
I'm gonna
We're
say
going to end it. I
it's
have
gonna
more
go down.
questions, but I want to go ahead and end. I don't want to stay on more than 2 hours, and then I'm going to head over into Miss Full Roller's live, where she
Okay,
does
but I'm gonna
music
say this
trivia.
and
We have to
run
do
on
a part
out.
2. That was nice.
Yeah,
Definitely,
a very nice time.
Thank you
definitely.
for inviting
Oh,
me.
sure. You're welcome. You guys are welcome. I just wanted something to do, and like I said, I was done with my finals and my studying, and tomorrow's my birthday, so I just wanted to.
Ooh,
Happy
yay!
birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday!
Thank
birthday to
Yeah, I know, and many more.
you.
thank you, you all. So yeah, it's and I almost
Everybody make
got
sure
sick.
you beat a different book.
I got it already.
Go ahead, Joy, talk about it.
No, I was just saying yes.
Well, go ahead and plug the book though.
Oh, I have 3 books. One is on a pair of socks. They're all inspirational quotes. Everything is geared to inspire, to tickle your brain a little bit, and to possibly like the conversations that we are having now, to have good conversational pieces. Because in my uh, life, I really feel like humanity can be a lot more whole, and some of these quotes will make you think about that.
Okay, okay, thanks. That's good. We got to take a look at that.
Yes, and it's not only books. We got hoodies, t-shirts,
Oh, merch. All right.
Yes, she got it going on with in her store.
Nice.
That is very nice. Okay. Let's see. We
Joy,
got
you gotta check out my last video. You were in it.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, that's
It was
awesome.
the,
No,
it was the gift one.
I haven't been on YouTube.
Yeah, it was the gift one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. You guys want to say anything before we get out of here? You know,
No, it's very
what are you
nice
doing
being
lately,
here.
Vern? What are you up to? What's going on your neck of the woods?
To who? Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am booked and busy. I have so much going on. It's like it's always something different, but I'm enjoying my YouTube journey. Like I said, I'm starting to write a book. I am looking for sponsorships for my motivational speaking, and I am also doing almost like a human resources consulting business because I was just recently laid off.
Okay.
Actually, my job was eliminated, so it's like, okay, now I can actually do what I want to do.
Okay, so you
but I
have an
freed up some
opportunity,
time.
right.
So I'm kind of excited for this next journey of my life. So
Okay, sounds good. Who wants
How's your foot?
to go
Is your
next?
foot healing up, Vern?
I'm sorry, what was the
that
question?
was a story time from 2015. That happened
Oh.
in 2015. Yeah, it was a story time.
What was the question? I missed that, Shawana.
She posted on IG that her foot was, she had a cast on her foot.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh.
That video.
That was on my VMAX show. I have a second channel, and it was a story time, and I was telling them what happened of how my porch collapsed, and I broke my foot and toes. Yeah. You know what though? It was cold yesterday and today, and don't you know I'm getting pain, like really bad pain. They said that would happen. They said I would have pain anytime the weather changes.
Wow.
Oh, is that because of what is that, arthritis setting up or something?
No, because it was cut because the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Learn something new every day. Okay, well, I hope you get you better and recover real soon. 100% manifestation.
That's right.
Okay. Shawana, you want to tell everybody what you've been up to or what you're doing?
I just been really this year kind of was sad, so I just been pretty much trying to get ready for next year so I could boost up my channel.
Okay, but what are you doing with your channel? I saw something that was really cool that you had on your channel, but I'm trying to get you to talk about it.
I something cool on mine. So I've been chilling. The only thing I do is DIYs, crafting, diamond painting.
There we go. Yeah, I saw a beautiful diamond painting that you did.
Oh, well, I got a secret since you want to say something.
Okay.
This Web Savvy is finna come on over to the diamond painting world.
Hey.
And Miss Shawana got me hooked on diamond painting, so I started a new channel.
She has
diamond
3
painting.
channels, you guys. She has 3 channels. Outdoor garden is very busy. She has 3 channels, and yes, she is hooked on diamond painting.
Yeah, they too much for me. That I have one channel. That's enough for me right now. With my work and my school, that's enough.
And I'm gonna be starting my indoor gardening in the next couple of weeks. I have to get everything together, but I'm gonna be starting with some lettuce, some peppers, some tomatoes. Indoors.
That's delicious.
Doing hydroponics.
Oh, that's delicious.
Oh man, you all should see it. Finn's house looks like a jungle. I mean, it is. Everything is so beautiful in there. All of the plants. Oh my God,
that's life. That's life right there.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Okay, well then, as far as me, you know what? I'm going to dedicate myself to doing more content because I'm done with school for a while. And so I'll have time to do more content. And since I can do more work from home, that'll make it easier for me. So look for more content. It's going to be more on business, taxes, technology, websites, hosting, things of that nature. There's anything.
Oh, I'll be coming to see you. All right. I'm working on my website too.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
Hey
Well, thank
Joy,
you
how
all.
is your journey going with YouTube? Because I know you go live every day, right? Or 5 days?
No. I'm
7?
actually 3 days, like a week or two ago. I just decided to stop going live every day until the new year. So
Okay.
I haven't gone live in almost 2, 3 weeks. That's why I said in the beginning, this is the first time I'm live, like on a panel in a long time. So between then, I do post every single day. I've been posting content every day, whether it be shorts, cooking, reviews, and stuff like. I have been doing that, but I guess it's time for me to, figure some things out. So, but I will go back to Hello World, but it may be a little different. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I stopped at 635 episodes. I thought I could make it to 1,000, but it didn't happen.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
thought I'm
impressive.
not there yet. If I stayed every day right now, I'd probably be at 700. But it's okay. Life doesn't always go according to your plans.
Sure it doesn't, girl.
Yes.
I just want to keep
Sure don't.
flowing, and as long as somebody's being inspired or encouraged, that's all that really matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. And yeah, and I think that's a good way to look at life, because if something that you do inspires, encourages someone else or makes a change in their life, it was worth it.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
cool. Well, thank you, ladies. I really, really appreciate you all coming and sharing some of your time with me. I know you didn't have to, and I was looking to see who would come, and I overbooked, and I'm glad I did. And I got the greatest ladies on YouTube to come out and hang with me. So if I
Oh,
don't talk to you guys before Christmas, Kwanzaa, have a Merry Kwanzaa, a Merry Christmas, okay?
You
You
too.
guys
And a
be
happy new
blessed.
year.
right.
Yes.
I'll see you guys on the YouTube streets. And thanks again. I want to welcome everyone that came in that I didn't get a chance to welcome. Sorry about that. I was so enthralled with the conversation. And you guys check out these lovely women's channels. They are doing their thing on YouTube. You can see Joy up at Be The Difference, LLC.com. All right. And check out her book. She's an author. Vern's Junk Closet. All you gotta do is type the name in. Vern is always sharing great
The YouTube cheerleader.
yeah,
Yeah.
do it, Vern. Do it. Shawana's Creative Circle, the indoor outdoor gardener, and Walk Web Savvy Cafe. You all take care. Bye bye.
Bye,
Love you.
guys.
Bye.